I've noticed we're losing subscribers. Not the YouTube kind, but the kind that swore they'd be in my life forever. Funny how that works. One day you're surrounded by people who claim to love you, and the next, you're watching them walk away like you were just another phase in their lives. By the way, if you're here, do me a favor, subscribe. It's free, and unlike some people in my life, you won't regret sticking around. Growing up as a twin, life wasn't the picturesque experience everyone assumes. Sure, we were the perfect pair on the outside, our smiles, our family photos, the way we seemed to mirror each other in every way. But behind the scenes, it was a different story. I, a 25-year-old man, was always seen as the other one. While my sister was the golden child, bright, popular, and effortlessly loved, I was the quieter twin. The one who preferred computers over socializing. The dynamic between us couldn't have been clearer from the start. She was always praised, given opportunities, while I found myself perpetually overlooked. My sister was showered with recognition. I, on the other hand, became accustomed to silence. Our parents didn't hide their favoritism. For our 16th birthday, my sister received a brand new car, something flashy and cool. I got a bus pass as if they had already written off my need for anything more. When we graduated from high school, the gap between us widened. She was whisked away on a weekend trip to New York. For me, a $50 Best Buy gift card. College, however, was supposed to be my time to prove myself. My sister, of course, got to attend a prestigious school, their alma mater, fully funded, with an apartment included. As for me, I managed to attend a public institution, juggling scholarships and part-time jobs to make ends meet. Throughout all this, my parents never asked about my life or my work. They saw me as the quiet, unambitious one, while my sister was their shining star. Even when she complained about money, they didn't hesitate to Venmo her whatever she needed. Me. I was left to learn responsibility and fend for myself. Still, I found my calling. I started freelancing as a video editor, building a steady client base and developing a reputation. But to my parents, it was just playing on the computer. They never once asked about my work or congratulated me for my success. Then came graduation day. We sat down for a family dinner to celebrate the end of finals, and it was clear from the moment we walked in that the night wasn't going to be the celebration I expected. My sister was handed an envelope, and inside was confirmation of a 2-week luxury vacation at a beach resort, complete with first-class airfare. It must have cost at least $15,000. The excitement in her eyes was undeniable as she beamed at the extravagant gift. They turned to me expecting gratitude for my mere survival of the semester. A casual, "Congrats on finishing," followed by a brief clap on my shoulder. When I asked if there was anything for me, my father's laugh was cruel. "Your sister earned that vacation," he said with a shrug. "Dean's List for 4 years, job lined up at a friend's company. What have you done except play on your computer?" My mother nodded, her voice colder than usual. "You should follow your sister's example instead of expecting handouts." And there she was, sitting across from me, my sister, the golden child, smirking. I nodded, watching my sister smugly prepare an Instagram post from her Hawaiian vacation. What was the point of arguing? It was just the latest in a long line of events that proved what I had already known. Nothing I did would ever be enough for my family. 2 weeks later, as they departed for Hawaii, my parents decided to accompany my sister for the first week. I stayed behind under the guise of job hunting, but in truth, I had a different plan brewing. My freelance gigs had been more lucrative than they ever imagined. I'd been frugal, saving every penny I could. Now was the time to reward myself. I had my eyes set on a Mustang GT, black with red trim, in immaculate condition with only 12,000 miles. I'd driven it a couple of times before graduation, and it was calling to me. The day after they left, I went to the dealership, closed the deal, and drove my new car straight to the driveway. I parked it where it would be impossible to miss. When my family returned from their vacation, their faces were priceless. My father, mid-sentence about my sister's snorkeling adventures, froze. "What the hell is that?" he demanded. "Graduation present to myself," I replied, my tone steady. My mother's eyes widened in disbelief. "You can't afford that." With a small smile, I handed them a folder containing the receipt for my cash payment and a statement detailing my freelance earnings from the past 2 years. Turns out that playing on my computer was more profitable than they had realized. "It's been paying for more than just my car," I added. "It also covered my apartment's security deposit. My clients? They've been more than happy with my work." My sister, now suddenly interested, inquired about the social media accounts I edited for. I didn't bother holding back my frustration. "Why didn't you tell us?" she asked, her tone changing. "You never asked," I replied bluntly. You never seemed interested in anything I've accomplished. Only her. The following days were tense. My mother attempted to backpedal, claiming that they always believed in me. But I could tell it was forced. My father was caught between being impressed with my earnings and irritated that I had finally outshone my sister. And then, of course, my sister came knocking, wanting access to my connections. I denied her request coldly. This is my thing. Everything has already been provided to you. As I left their house, my father's parting words were a reminder to be cautious with showy things, and maybe invest that money instead. I hesitated at the doorway, a sharp retort on the tip of my tongue. Funny, I said quietly, you didn't give my sister that advice about her $15,000 Hawaii trip. Update 1. 3 months later things had shifted. My mother called regularly asking about my career. My father, ever the financial planner, wanted to discuss investment strategies. Apparently, now that they knew I had resources they hadn't been aware of, they were suddenly interested. Meanwhile, my sister's job with my father's friend had crumbled. It turned out her manager couldn't stand her attitude, and after just 2 months she was let go. It was the perfect storm. My sister came home jobless and bitter, and my parents, embarrassed in front of their friends, turned to me for help. I began receiving calls asking if I could connect her with any of my clients. Maybe she could help you with your video thing, my mother suggested. She's very creative. I had to stop myself from laughing. Clients hire me for technical skills, Mom, not creativity. She's never shown any interest in digital media. The calls kept coming and my father finally broke, asking me to throw her a bone. I reminded him of the countless times I had been left to struggle on my own. Remember sophomore year when I couldn't afford textbooks? You said it would help me develop character. Things escalated when my sister, frustrated by my refusal to help, showed me her newly created digital media consultant page. I've been watching tutorials, she explained, her voice filled with unwarranted confidence. I could definitely do what you do. I just need you to introduce me to a few clients. When I refused again, she accused me of trying to sabotage her career out of jealousy. To my surprise, my parents sided with her. They claimed I was being too competitive. As I left their house, I overheard my mother telling my father they should use their vacation fund to help my sister financially, the same fund they had refused to touch when I needed help with my college bills. Update 2. 6 months had passed since that heated dinner and I had pulled back significantly. I stopped attending family events and focused all my energy on growing my business. I secured a contract with a major streaming platform to edit promotional content. The money was fantastic and the work was rewarding. But just when I thought I could breathe a little easier, my sister texted me a screenshot of an application she'd submitted for a position at the same streaming site, using my name as her reference. Without asking me. When I called her, she replied, "But we're family. I've been learning to edit by watching your old projects." Furious, I visited my parents' house and discovered she'd been going through my old hard drives, digging through years of client work I had backed up. This could break confidentiality agreements, I warned, but my parents dismissed my concerns. She's just trying to learn, they said, as if that made everything okay. When my mother questioned why I had taken all my professional materials from my childhood bedroom, I simply told her that I didn't trust them to respect my boundaries. And rightfully so. Later, I discovered that my sister had sent samples to potential employers that were essentially my portfolio clips with minimal adjustments. That's stealing my work. My father brushed it off as a misunderstanding. I wasn't going to let it slide. I phoned the companies where my sister had applied and explained the situation. It was crucial to protect my professional reputation. But the final straw came when my sister set up social media accounts with a nearly identical business name to mine, claiming years of expertise and using my client list. That was the moment I knew I couldn't let this go any longer. After consulting with a lawyer acquaintance, I issued a formal cease and desist letter. The family's reaction was explosive. My mother accused me of tearing the family apart over computer videos, while my father threatened to disown me if I didn't retract the letter. But I remained firm. This isn't about family, I told them. It's about professional ethics. It took time, but eventually they realized I wasn't going to back down. My sister deleted the fake accounts, and we agreed not to discuss career problems at family gatherings. Meanwhile, my streaming contract opened up further opportunities. I moved from my small flat to a small house with a home office, and I even hired help to handle the growing client demands. My father texted me, "Your mother and I have been thinking, perhaps we miscalculated your professional path. We'd like to talk about investing in your company venture." I didn't respond. Final update. It's been about a year since my parents attempted to invest in my business, and I think this will be my final update. I didn't answer my father's investment text. Instead, I focused on building my life independently. My business is booming, and I've built a small but dedicated team to help with the increasing workload. 2 months after their offer, my father's attorney sent me a business proposition. They were offering to pay $50,000 in exchange for 40% ownership of my company and decision-making ability. They even suggested creating a post for my sister as the communications director with a salary similar to mine. I sent a polite but firm refusal through my attorney with the comment, "No thanks, I prefer to earn things for myself." Shortly after, my mother called, saying I had embarrassed my father by turning down his generous offer. She then revealed their true motivation. "We're just trying to ensure your sister's future," she admitted. She's still struggling to find her way. It became clear, they weren't interested in my business. They just wanted a solution to my sister's employment troubles by giving her a piece of what I had accomplished. Things came to a head during Thanksgiving dinner when my father announced to the extended family, "We're helping Junior turn his video business into a true family enterprise." My sister snapped, furious when I told everyone that I had declined the offer. "You're simply being selfish. You know I need this opportunity," she said. I stood my ground, replying, "What you need to do is develop your own skills instead of capitalizing on mine. Everyone here has seen you get handed opportunities your entire life, while I've had to work for everything I have." To my surprise, my grandmother chimed in, shocking everyone with her support. "He's right," she said. "You've always favored her, and it hasn't done her any good." My uncle pulled me aside after dinner and congratulated me. "Good on you for standing your ground. I've been seeing this dynamic for years." In the months since, communication with my family has been limited. My sister moved to another state for a fresh start. As for me, I've continued to build my business and my life. My father texted me a link to an article about the success of the streaming platform, accompanied by the message, "I always knew you had potential." I didn't respond. Some relationships can't be repaired with platitudes. I've transformed my home office into a proper studio area. I'm seeing someone who recognizes my accomplishments rather than attempting to claim them. The twin who was never good enough has created a life that speaks for itself. And finally, that is the only validation that matters. Lesson. The lesson here is simple. Your worth is not defined by the approval of others, especially not family. Sometimes you have to stand your ground even when the people closest to you don't understand or support your choices. True success comes when you earn it through hard work and integrity, and no one can take that from you. This story is a testament to the importance of boundaries, self-respect, and perseverance. It's a reminder that we can rise above family dynamics or situations that seek to undermine our progress. Does this story resonate with you? Have you ever faced similar challenges with family or friends? Feel free to share your experiences in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories of resilience and growth.